Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show for Thursday, the 15th of August. We race at Turffontein. It's on the inside track. Alistair Cohen is on the line. Before we say hello to him, just having a look at what's on offer. There are 8 races on the card. The first race begins at 12:55. It's a late start, 5-1. And we should complete things at 1700 hours. The big one, the pick 6, we'll remind you as we go through the show, that's at 14:05. And I looked at this card, just the size of fields. I think it'll be very popular for the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge competition. We congratulate Cape to Cairo, the most recent winner of that competition, and did not play the 50 rand on the bet slip, but still managed to win a large sum of cash. So well done to him. Yeah, Alistair, that competition continues to generate winners. Brilliant, isn't it?
And I try every single race meeting as well, Dees. You know, it's such a lovely concept. It's very, very hard to win. So that's why the reward is what it is. And well done to Trip to Cairo for being the latest winner in the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge. I think it's a fantastic initiative. It's very, very hard to sort of win a pick 6 generally when you've got an open cards to include as many horses as your budget allows. You know, you're basically playing, in this case, a straight line pick 8. But I absolutely love it because it's free to play. All you need is a Hollywoodbets account, and you know, you've got absolutely nothing to lose. So I play it every day. I know that a lot of us presenters and commentators around the country do. There's good banter about it all, and you know, maybe we'll get lucky one of these days and retire, because that's the type of dream you could be looking at the right type of race meeting.
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot of luck involved, but with some studying, and if luck falls your way, as it did to Trip to Cairo, then it's a massive payday. Let's get straight into it, Alistair. Race number 1 is the start of the bipod. 1200 meters, a maiden plate as always. I'll give you a guide with horses that are in single figures. Number 1 at 22-10. 4 is a scratching at the time of recording. 5 Ombudsman is at 2-1. 8 at 7-1. And 9 at 5-2. This horse, Ombudsman for Sean Terry. When I had a look at the way Sean nominated, prior to the declarations of this meeting, he actually had this horse in KZN as well, but he opted to go for this race. When I looked at that final field for KZN, I thought this horse would have actually went very close to winning, but he's decided to keep the horse in Gauteng rather.
Yeah, and I don't really know what to make of that. There's a very interesting stat going around, and I will defend Sean Terry with this stat. He is a traditionally very slow starter to the season, but it's been nearly 60 runners since Sean's last winner. His last winner was before the World Pool Gold Cup race meeting, where he obviously brought a whole lot of bombs to Hollywoodbets Greyville and had a few near misses. Sean obviously targets for when the grass turns green for the Cape Summer and for the KZN Champion season, so he's not really full steam ahead, because he's obviously he masters getting his horses very, very fit and focuses on 9 months of the year when the feature races go round, that he tends to take his foot off the gas at the end of the season. So Ombudsman, despite being a chance, I'm not 100% convinced that he's an absolute good thing, and I think the race is a little bit more deep than that. I think number 1, Let's Play Poker, going around the turn for the very first time, is very interesting. I think he's dying for the turn. Keratila Kachedi takes a ride for the Yazzies, 3rd run after a rest. Form lines are shallow, 100%, but I'm interested to see how he'll go around the bend. And then number 9, Saigon Susie, had a draw. One's got to be a big chance. Keegan DeMello takes the ride. Last time finishing a short head behind Crimson Cloud. In that race, the horse who ran 4th, despite taking a long time to win a maiden, has come out and won in the form of Together Again. So I think all that stacks up quite well. I haven't tipped to Bipop. My best of choice is the place accumulator, because I think you're going to have to cast your net a little bit wide. I think the meat of the card is fairly straightforward, but the start and the finish, I think, is pretty tricky. And I think we go in here with 4 winning chances. The other horse I haven't mentioned that I think has got a winning chance is number 2, Chieftain Shield, a very well-bred son of Vercingetorix, who found form in the first run for Tyrone Zaki, who's had 5 runners this season and 4 winners. So the man's on fire, with Pilasande and Oli riding the bulk of those. So I think he also enters the conversation. In order of preference, I'm going 9, 1, 5, and 2. Probably 3 of those horses and bipods will get you across the line.
And maybe a trifecta box to start things off if you're not in the camp of any of these horses in a strong way to have a win bet. 9, 1, 5 and 2, 4 runners box, 4 times 3, which is 12, and 12 times 2, 24 Rand is what that trifecta will cost you, and possibly take the same quartet, it will be the same spend. Place accumulator begins in race number 2 at 13:30. It's over 1,200 meters. And let's go through the betting as we bring up the field. Number 1 at 3-1. Form update for number 2, ran 5th, beaten 5.5 lengths last time out, which was on the 8th of August. We'll see if that takes its place. Then we go on to a 3-1 shot, and that's Lorenzo Karim's runner, Line in the Sky, who made a very promising introduction as a very late 3-year-old. Number 6 at 9-2. Then we got horse number 7 at 8-1, and number 8 at 3-1. There is a first timer in the race. My input will be keep an eye on the betting because they've engaged the services of Gavin Larena. So Keegan DeMello is here for another meeting before he jets off to Hong Kong. He rides throughout the day, and maybe he could be a jockey to follow. Is he a jockey to follow in race number 2, Alistair?
Yeah, without a shadow of doubt, Dees. I've narrowed this race down to 2. I've sidestepped number 4, Line in the Sky, because of a draw. But I don't think there should be much between number 1 and 4. But I'm just going to go with number 1 on this occasion one more time. But I think the horse they all need to beat is number 8, Iconic Winter. Lovely debut behind Golden Moment. Golden Moment very close to winning at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Sunday against probably much stronger than what Iconic Winter faces here. I'd anticipate there'll be a lot of scope for improvement from run 1 to run 2. Keegan DeMello takes a ride, which obviously nobody would complain with. Overall, that form line is quiet, but I think, the 4th horse, Crimson Cloud, came out and won, but there's absolutely nothing else to get excited about in that piece of form. But I think that probably rings true for quite a lot of the runners in this race. I'm going to go with number 1, Autumn Var, is back up again. Oli and Zaki ran a length behind Selenio Peninsula first time out. That's the relation to Barbaresco, and I know expectations are that Selenio Peninsula is likely to train on and go through the division. So just using that as a bit of a gauge, number 1, Autumn Var, has every opportunity of confirming that run, probably even improving on that run, and giving number 8, Iconic Winter, something to think about. And the place accumulator and the bar pot, I'm comfortable holding the race to 2, unless, as you mentioned, there is a bit of support for number 9, Poplar Park. I've looked at that pedigree. That doesn't scream a 1,200-meter debut pedigree, being by last winter, but more particularly out of a Judpot mare called Ruler of the Sky. But you're right, Gavin Larena's engagement is something that makes you prick the ears. So at the time of recording, I'm on the side of no, but if there is a few rounds and cents about number 9, Poplar Park, just maybe respect her chances a little bit more.
Yeah, match the names and have a look at the price of the horse. Just 40 grand. Well, this could be a cheap purchase and may turn out to be a good one for some big hitters in the game. Number 9. Race number 3, pick 6 time, and 1,450 meters. It's a maiden plate and it's restricted to 3-year-olds. So we bring up the field and have a look at the betting, and I'm going to jot some numbers down because I personally think we can try and narrow down the spend of this pick 6 if we're on the same page, Alistair. But let's begin. Race number 3, horse number 1, blinkers on. Take note that, and a form update. Ran 5th, beaten 4.5 lengths behind Confederate, and number 2 is at 22-10. Number 3 at 3-1. C4's got the earmuffs on. 5 is the first timer, 8-1, so we can possibly eliminate that if we're going to play with the rule in the pick 6. Number 6 at 6-1, and then horse number 8 at 12 o'clock high at 3-1. So the pick 6, I don't know. I'm willing to take a chance here, Alistair. I'm going to eliminate the first timers, so it goes down to a field of 6 runners, and we're hoping that, let's say, a first timer wins, that we can run second. 3 runners, numbers 2, 3, and 8. So will that be good enough?
I was actually in the corner of two runners of numbers 2 and 8, but we're not eliminating. We're gonna go to the well with everything that gets a mention if our budget allows. And I think that in the next two races we can probably get away with very, very slim pickings. So yeah, I'm happy with the three horses. I just want to talk about the first timer that I know about, number 70 Chacha. Don't know if he's going to be set up to win first time out, but I think they like number 70 Chacha as a horse. So watch out for him maybe going forward. The place accumulators, I went banking number 8, 12 o'clock high, also trained by Stuart Pettigrew. I know that on the run to Corrupt, 12 o'clock high finished behind Chili Bomb. It was 12 o'clock high's first run, it was Chili Bomb's third run, so I think 12 o'clock high might have a little bit more scope to improve. His second run was hugely disappointing behind Wild Intent. I know that there was a little bit of money and talk around for number 8, 12 o'clock high, but for me, he almost took a step backwards from his first run and showed almost more inexperience than he did first time out. So I don't know how to read of that last run, but I think from draw one, and I think the run will bring him along, and I think perhaps crucially, the extra 250 meters is exactly what he's looking for. Stuart Pettigrew trained one of the better red rays, probably not the best, but trained a Lula Star, so he probably knows what to get out of the progeny, the most to get out of the progeny. Gavin Lorena's engagement also strikes a chord with me. So in the place accumulator, I'll bank in number 8, 12 o'clock high. There's obviously a good case to be made for number 2, Chili Bomb. I'm not convinced, although it might look like he improved in his last start behind Corrupt. I've said it on the show before, I think Corrupt's a high-quality horse, but he's never winning anything of substance down the straight and over a sprint. I think he won just because he's a good horse, not because the other horse. I think the other horses are flattered in behind him. So it'll be interesting to see how number 2, Chili Bomb, goes. And then obviously number 3, Red Legend, on your recommendation. I'm very sceptical about the level of form that he brings in, but you could probably make that argument for quite a few horses in this race. So he goes into the play as well, and we are definitely using that first timer rule to our advantage.
Okay, Alistair really likes horse number 8 there, and just have a look at it. Monte Carlo Syndicate, Mike Woodstock. If that has to win, I promise you, I think that horse Green Bubbles will shorten in race number 8 for the same syndicate. Okay, I don't know if they've had a double. Maybe Alistair can tell us when we go to race number 4, but not to my memory. But wouldn't that be something? So 8 strong for Alistair, but for the pick 6, I'm jotting some numbers down. It's going to be 2, 3, and 8. Then on to jackpot 1, which is race number 4, 1,450 meters. Well, we had the 3-year-olds in race number 3. Well, this is the 3-year-old fillies maiden plate. That's the restriction in the race, 1,450 meters. And we'll bring up the field. Number 1 at 17 to 10. Horse number 2 at 8 to 1. Number 5 at 5 to 1. The first timer, number 6, that rule doesn't come into play for the jackpot, is at 11 to 2. There is money, Hollywood bets, Alistair, for you to take note of. And this horse has been backed from 20 to 1 into 12 to 1, number 8. And then we got horse number 9 at 22 to 10. I just want to touch on something with you, but there are platforms that these discussions can be made on, but I just thought, I don't know if there's anything official yet about Gavin Lorena, and of course it's clear to see that he hasn't been riding much for the Verners, but there's been lots been spoken on social media about what has happened, what has transpired. I haven't heard anything official, or I haven't read anything official. I don't know if I've missed that, but he's not riding as much as he's been riding for those Werner Silks.
I don't know if I know too much or got a little bit of cross lines here with the whole situation. Gavin Lorena did ride for Candice in the Verners colours on Saturday on a horse called King's Ransom.
Yes.
And as far as my communication is concerned, Gavin can ride anything for Jared Lawrence and Tessa Verners. I think it's sort of a misunderstanding among trainer and jockey, but not for the first time either. I think that that time will heal in this particular case. Obviously convenient that we got Keegan DeMello in town. down, and from what I hear, there will be a couple of other jockeys that will be testing the waters when Keegan goes back to Hong Kong. I don't have any concrete names. I'm hearing all sorts of names, so I don't think there's going to be one specific jockey. But no, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware, between owner and jockey, there's absolutely no concerns whatsoever, and perhaps the breakdown of communication that has happened, like I said, time could very well heal. But at the moment, obviously, Johan and Gavin aren't working together, but like I said, it's not the first time that's happened, and yeah, like I said, I think time will likely heal. I think they'll win this race. Well, DeMello, Verners and Van Vuren will win this race with number 1 Far Reaching. When I initially looked at this race, Dees, I looked for reasons to beat number 1 Far Reaching. It's a shallow field. I do respect the money on the Hudalakis horse, number 8 Sequestrate, who's a half-sister to a mare that was also owned and trained by the connections, Drakenstein and Lucky Hudalakis, but stayed all day, was the relation to number 8 Sequestrate. So I'd venture to say that maybe another run will do her a world of good. It does make me sort of tap around the edges and think maybe number 8 Sequestrate's got more of a chance than I thought. But when you look at number 1 Far Reaching, it's simple. Her form lines are just better than anyone else. Go back 3 starts, Katiwe's Destiny, the horse that she beat, is a nice horse. Then the horse who ran 6, Streisand, has come out and won. If you go to Far Reaching's next start, we're finishing 5th. The second horse, Willie Meet Again, there's a line of form there with Willie Meet Again, who finished 13 lengths behind, or rather Sequestrate finished 13 lengths behind Willie Meet Again, and this horse, Far Reaching, finished 2 lengths behind Willie Meet Again, so I think that stacks up well into Far Reaching's favour. And then obviously Far Reaching coming out and running its next start. Let me just get that form number because there are also winners there. The 3rd and 5th horse who were beaten by Far Reaching came out and won in the form of Silver Flare and Cartagena. I know Cartagena won a weak field. We were on the right side of her at the Val a week ago, but the point is all those form lines are just working out better. I'll bank her everywhere, number 1 Far Reaching. If there's a sustained push on number 8 Sequestrate, like I said, I'll probably be prepared to step around the edges, but the pure form, the Willie Meet Again level of form is crucial here, and Far Reaching on the pure mathematics has Sequestrate stone cold.
Convinced. We're going to banker that. Race 4, horse number 1. That is the banker in the pick 6, race number 4, and you can take a chance, jackpot 1. And we must thank Alistair for his input and the feedback that he's got with regards to that Lorena and Werner's relationship or riding arrangement moving forward. Because, yeah, you know, when we notice change, whether you're a race goer or a punter, I'd always gonna, you know, have conversations in various corners of the industry, because that's what the game is about. It's about trying to figure out what's happening in order to make your selections. And you do have you know, a difference of opinion when selections are made, and when you factor in these relationships, it does change that thought process. So thanks to Alistair for that. Race number 5, jackpot 2 over 2,600 meters, and this is the way they're betting. Number 1, Raise Hallelujah. Well, Alistair is going to try and help us with this at 18 to 10. Horse number 2 at 5 to 1, 3 at 5 to 2, 4 at 5 to 1. I've taken down the betting for this horse Absolute Value because I personally feel that he's so badly off form. It's you know, I'm finding it hard to believe that the horse can go this badly off form, because at one stage towards the end of last year, should I say, he couldn't lose. He was just winning, but now he's gone so badly off form. That's at 12 to 1. And then number 7 at 7 to 1. Number 1, Raise Hallelujah. Yeah, he's got the hard luck stories here in KZN for his last 2 runs, Alistair. And you know what? You do all the hard grind back home. You bring the horse to the track, and then, you know, it is racing. We understand the game, but it must be so, you know, when these type of valid excuses happen in races.
He had 2 long-distance gallops on the big days at Hollywoodbets Greyville, and the DSTV Gold Pass, and it's his running style, so he's going to be a hostage to fortune. That's just what he does. But in the DSTV Gold Vase, Richard Fourie went from one side of the course to the other, desperate for a run. He maintained that he definitely runs into the first 3 with a clear run in the DSTV Gold Vase, and Cabello Mazzignani was absolutely pig sick last time in the Whirlpool Gold Cup because he loaded early, he reared, and then he came out a little bit slowly. slowly. And the only thing that Cabello was told not to do was to sit last. And because he came out slowly, all he could do was sit last, especially after Grand Fanique pulled the trigger on Zeus from last to first down the back straight. And Cabello was so annoyed, but also so encouraged with the way that he ran on. It was always the plan to put him away. He had a hard season, but then this race cropped up, so he'll have his African horse sickness and have a break after this, because he pulled up out of those 2 runs without a scratch on him. Like I said, he had 2 long-distance gallops to number 1, Razor Hallelujah. I banked him in the place accumulator the last time he was at this level. He carried 62 kilos. He won easier than the margin suggested when beating Breeze over. So I think that he will definitely run into the top 3. When I was structuring this, I had a good look at number 3, 20 Drachmas, who obviously ran a stinker at his penultimate start. I don't think he's the most reliable horse around, but I thought he pushed Vesuvio down to the line last time, and I think if the roles were reversed, I think if 20 Drachmas at 50 kilos and Vesuvio at 54, probably looking at a completely different result. Vesuvio obviously came out and franked that form as well. So I think that's going to prop up number 3, 20 Drachma's winning chances. They were the 2 horses that I made a strong winning case for. On your recommendation, if you'll feel comfortable and look for a result, and put number 5, Absolute Value in. He's the key to the race, by the way, in terms of the pace, because it's obviously a very fast track at the moment at Turffontein. The yard is on absolute fire of Fabian Habib. So if he's on a going day, he could be a difficult horse to catch. For me, I would like to see a lot more in his favour before we can follow him, but if you want to put him in, we can put him in. Pick 6 from my side, 1 and 3. PA suggested bet, banker number 1, Razor Hallelujah. It will be broken if he doesn't run into the first 3. He'll go very, very close to winning.
Yeah, I think you've touched on what I thought about the horse. The way things are up in Gauteng with regards to tracks, this horse is no doubt the horse that's going to go to the front. And if he comes back to his better self, his self that we saw towards the end of 2023, I think that he could be the upset in the race. But I agree with you, 1 looks hard to oppose. Well, we've bankered in the previous race, Alistair, so let's go 1, 3, and 5 here. But as you heard it, you got a choice here, 1, 3, and 5, or banker number 1, because Alistair's given you all the positives about Razor Hallelujah. Race number 6 is a classified stakes over 1,200 meters. We bring up the field. Number 1 is at 22 to 10. Number 2 at 6 to 1. Horse number 4 at 22 to 10. 6 is a blinker. Blinkers are on there. Number 7 at 4 to 1. And then horse number 8, the runner I like, especially for the PA as a banker, is at 9 to 2. 9 is a scratching. It's a small field, 22 to 10. The market can't split them. Numbers 1 and 4. Does the race stop there, or do we have to look further?
Well, my PA numbers are 1 and 8, so I'm in the same camp as you with number 8 coming in hot. I make this a huge chance, Dees. I know that he hasn't won in a long time, but to the eye, he caught my eye last time from the outside at Turffontein. He was making up a little bit of ground. I think the extra 200 meters will help him, and I believe had it been an extra 200 meters, he might have run down the 2 that finished in front of him. So number 8 coming in hot, I think could be closer to winning here than he has been in a long time. Number 1, French Impact, is not a horse we can put absolute trust in, the son of Dan on Platina, because he has a tendency and a propensity to pull and to be very difficult and to do his own thing and to be a bit of a nut job in races. Robbie Sage seems to have turned this horse around in his last 2 starts. He's not pulled, he's not overrated, he's not tugged away. And with the strength of Gavin Lorena on board, I like to believe that he can keep a lid on the son of Dan on Platina. I'd like to suggest that if he doesn't pull here, then he might be over those demons. Number 1, French Impact, but I'd still sort of be a little bit tentative about totally trusting him. He's the horse that they all need to beat. Of that, there's no doubt. The last one over Turbo Power was good. He seems to be best on the inside track. His 2 career wins have come on this course, so all of that I think stacks up in his favour. But would I bank him anywhere? Would I have a 10 out of 10 confident bet on him? Absolutely not. But he might be a step ahead of the handicapper if he has sort of dusted off those demons. 1 and 8 for me in the place accumulator. You might want to include 1 more in the pick 6 between 4 and 7. Which way would I go? Probably go towards number 7, Kylie's Angel, because winning a maiden, Work Riders maiden, is one thing. It was a weak field. Someday maybe is a long time maiden. Coming out of a rating of 70, the same rating that she won off second run after a rest. look, it's hard to make a case for either of them because I don't think either of them are going to Hollywood. But between the two, I'd probably give number 7, Kylie's Angel, more of a shout than number 4, Final Try. I must be honest. Final Try didn't beat much last time out.
Okay, Alistair is giving us his analysis, and he is usually on the button trying to narrow things down, but I'm writing down the numbers. 1, 4, 7, and 8. Let's see what we get to when we get to that spend. Race number 7, 1,450 meters, divided handicap for fillies and mares. Yeah, it's 97, so what's this, a B division class, and this race, I think, will do exceptionally well to minimize the spend. 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 4. We're still on a very inexpensive perm. It is costing us 36 Rand going into race number 7. Number 1 at 5 to 1, number 2 at 7 to 1, horse number 3 at 2 to 1, 4 at 4 to 1, number 6, Alabama Anna, 52.5 kgs, in good form. I know that Jeffrey Seister, whilst he'll be partnering this horse for the first time, I like the way he's riding. 33 to 10, number 6, and then it is double figures, the balance. Yep, let's go with the rule, Alistair, if we can. 4 runners, pick 6. Can you narrow it down to that?
Okay, so to answer that question, I'm going to try, because I think we need the field on the last leg. I think you can put that in. You can put the big F in race 8. I don't want to spend too much time on that race. So I think we got to try and narrow this down to 4. My place accumulator has 3 numbers, 3, 4, and 6. So I think we can put those down automatically. Let me go through them. If Vix Princess is fit and ready to go, she will win. From 152 days off, can't be 100% sure. But I think if she's 90% fit, she'll win the race. Number 3, Vix Princess. For Duenna, I think she was beaten by a horse well ahead of the curve last time in the form of Here Call Me Boki. Draw 1's going to do her a lot of favours. Pila Sunday Oli takes her out for Stuart Pettigrew. Pettigrew, I was actually at his yard about a week ago. He was frustrated about how the 12 months went, but very, very happy with how the last 2 months of the season went, and is happy with the shape of the string at the moment. So expect some good things from Pettigrew for the next few months. For Duenna, bang there as well. And then number 6, Alabama Anna, you spot on. With that lightweight, she's going to think she's loose. She's doing things differently now in that she's ridden more forward. She doesn't have to run into traffic problems. She's become quite versatile. All those reasons make number 6, Alabama Anna, a threat. If I was going to include one more, it would be number 2, That's My Baby. I could not believe that she was punted in the Compendium Insurance Handicap on Hollywoodbets Durbanville. I didn't give her a hope in hell on that occasion. She ran exactly as I expected her to. And I'm not sure that she's the accomplished sprinter for the field that she ran in last time. In that race was the likes of Time for Orchids and a couple of other horses that have definitely got stakes potential this season. I think we might be at the right type of place for number 2, That's My Baby. So she should be my other inclusion. You happy with 4 runners, Yadiz?
Yeah, 4 runners is good. Give us the numbers in numerical.
Okay, so it's 2, 3, 4, and 6.
2, 3, 4, and 6. 2, 3, 4, and 6. So we're on 144. Yep, that is it. 144 Rand going into the last leg. And Alistair Cohen has already laid down what's happening in race number 8. He has said the field, and let's have a look at the field when we bring it up here in race number 8 at the time of recording. Numbers 1 and 2 at 5 to 2, number 3 at 8 to 1, 5 is 5 to 1. There is money for JJ's Eagle, number 6, from 20 to 1 Hollywoodbets into 14 to 1. 8 is a scratching, and 9 green bubbles. We mentioned this when we spoke about the Monte Carlo Syndicate earlier on in the meeting. I think it was race number 2, if I'm not mistaken. No, race number 3, 12 o'clock high, wasn't it? Yep, that was it. Then that is trading at 4 to 1, and it is double figures the balance. So we've got 9 runners at the time of recording. It's a field, so it's 144 times 9, which will give us 1296. Let's call it 130 Rand for 10%. I think with the field at the back, all depends on far-reaching. Far-reaching wins, this pick 6 is caught. But if you had to single out some horses for the guys to possibly follow in trifectas and quartets here, race number 8, and it does close off the PA as well.
Yeah, I'm afraid I've not been too adventurous in my PA here, Dees. I've gone 4 horses, and I think they're pretty safe as far as just suggesting to them. suggesting to the punters who they might be. They're 1, 2, 4, and 9. Do It With Diamonds was beaten by a 2-year-old last time in the form of Gimme Fabulous, who I bank it in all bets. Calvin Abib takes her out for Tony Peter. Beat Key Worker at her penultimate start. Key Worker, although was a frustrating maiden, she finally got the job done. I think she's upwardly mobile. There's a good case to be made for number 1, Do It With Diamonds. Being by Silvano as well, she's likely to sort of hit her straps from any time now. Number 2, Princess Ilaria. The draws put me off, I must be honest, but her consistency is definitely something to take note of. Another one that doesn't win too often, but she does give her heart and soul every time. Gavin Lorena crucially takes her out. Number 4, Courageous, back to 1450. Big chance, Muzieni ride for Candice Dalton. She last time at the Val, she went just too hard, and she did well to be beaten 5.5 lengths by Serta. She'll run a better race, third run after a break. Win, don't know. Good place chance, definitely. And then number 9, Green Bubbles, has to go into the play. I know that you're a big fan of hers. In fact, I can't remember if it was a Barpot or PA, but on the 27th of June, the only reason why I put her in at 25-1 was because of UDs, and I'm going to keep the faith. The fact that we're doing this show again, I think we got to give her the benefit of the doubt. Number 9, Green Bubbles, so she goes bang there another time.
Well, you done all the hard work that day. I'll even tell you the dividend. It was 700 plus, and it was a place accumulator that Alistair caught times that day, paying 700 some change when Green Bubbles won. So, yeah, a horse that did the show some favors, and maybe just keep an eye on race number 3 for the Stuart Pettigrew running in the same silks, and if that has to win, then maybe it could be a nice double for these colors. So I'm going to read out the pick 6 before we go to Alistair's suggested bet. The in-running pick 6 for Gallop TV on this Thursday: 2, 3, 8, bar 1 a banker, bar 1, 3, 5, bar 1, 4, 7, and 8, bar 2, 3, 4, and 6, and at the back it's the big F, and hopefully it's not the favorite. It's the field multiplied by 9 runners at the time of recording. 130 Rand gives you 10%, and it all depends on far-reaching. As I mentioned, if far-reaching wins, I think this pick 6 is caught. Alistair, over to you for your suggested bet.
I love that play, by the way. I love that pick 6. You've probably put me into the corner of taking both a PA and a pick 6. So PA starts at 1:30. This, by the way, is the only half-felt meeting of the week. So take advantage of that for those that like their Joburg racing. On 1 and 8, Autumn Var, an iconic winter. By banker number 8, 12 o'clock high. Then the third leg, banker number 1, far reaching. For me, that's the best bet on the day. By banker number 1, Razor Hallelujah. By 1 and 8, French Impact and coming in hot. Obviously, 2 others going into the pick 6. By 3, 4, and 6, Vix Princess, Duenna, and Alabama Anna. By 1, 2, 4, and 9. Do It With Diamonds, Princess Ilaria, Courageous, and Green Bubbles. Doubling up in that final leg will do us a world of good. I think we'll double up in race number 7 as well. And there's your winning place accumulator on the Thursday, on Equus Day.
Yeah, that is it. And we wish you all the best down there for the Equus celebration and the Equus Awards, and all the nominees as well. All the best. By the time this show has been aired, it'll be the day or before, or should I say during the day. It's in the evening. It's on the 15th. That is the Equus Awards, and Alistair Cohen firmly part of that show. Thank you for your time, Alistair.
Always a pleasure, Dee. It's great to chat to you, and we'll catch up soon.
Thanks to Alistair Cohen, thanks to the team at Gallop TV, and to you, the valued racing fan, to you. Thank you for your invaluable spend and support of the tote on a daily basis. Together we can surely make a difference. And from myself, Dee's Diana, and have a blast. Find all the winners. Take that pick 6 and take that place accumulator. And hopefully it turns out to be a very profitable day for you. Until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gashle.